Sharing sweets to celebrate their new status, the Bhatti family are some of the newest residents of Jammu and Indian-administered Kashmir, despite living there all their lives. Their parents were brought from Punjab in the 1950s to work as street sweepers, but they haven't been eligible for residency until now.
We thank Mr. Modi. We have this piece of paper in our hands because of him. Now our children have received residency too. They can progress in their lives.
In March, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government widened the criteria for residency in the disputed region, saying the change will grant equality and dignity to all. Now, anyone who's lived in the region for 15 years or studied for 7, those registered as migrants and children of government workers who've served in Kashmir are allowed to buy land and apply for government jobs. More than 30,000 domicile certificates have been issued since the law was implemented 2 months ago, most of them in Hindu-majority Jammu.
People are satisfied because there are fewer procedures to follow. When they had to become a resident before, there was a lot of documents required. They had to have them verified by an administrator. It was a very long procedure.
While it's now easier for non-Kashmiris to become residents, many others are afraid that the government will make it more difficult for them to prove their status.
I belong to this place, and you ask me to say that my identity basically depends on a piece of paper that your own people will give me? Something wrong with that.
The new domicile law was announced nearly 8 months after the government revoked the region's autonomy that had protected it from demographic changes.
The idea is that they would want to change the demography here in Jammu and Kashmir and create pressure on the society so that at some point of time, if the society doesn't give up, they would completely transform the demography of this place so that Kashmiri Muslims who are demanding freedom from India would come in a minority.
The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which represents 57 nations and almost 2 billion Muslims, is among other critics of the changes, saying they're part of the Hindu nationalist government's plans to drown Kashmiri dissent, and at a time when protests there have been banned for nearly a year. Elizabeth Puranam, Aljazeera, New Delhi.